What's going on, everyone? Sky here. Welcome back to the channel. So Michigan State basketball wins on Monday to advance to Tuesday with a shot to play in the championship game on Wednesday. In their way, though, the Memphis Tigers, who just beat UConn on Monday, 99-97, in an incredible game, one of the best college basketball games of the early season this year, and it'll probably be one of the more memorable ones of this entire college basketball season. And they looked really good, nonetheless. They were up 13 with, I think, about 4 minutes left in that game. UConn closed it. I mean, they're the back-to-back defending national champions for a reason. They made it a game late. Then after UConn forced overtime, Memphis was able to make the plays necessary to win that game, 99-97. A lot of good performances from Memphis. So we're going to break down Memphis here a little bit, talk about their season so far, what we'd like to see from Michigan State after Monday's win, and then what we can expect in this game. But first, before we jump in, if you could just hit that like and subscribe button down there. More Michigan State basketball content on the channel. We'll have a recap for this game, and then we'll have a preview up for Wednesday's game as well. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. So Michigan State versus Memphis, 6 o'clock on ESPN, not ESPN2 this time. But really, I mean, I want to just dive into this Memphis game versus UConn on Monday night because it was incredible. It was an incredible back and forth, up and down game between Memphis and UConn, and Memphis had them down, as I said, about 13 points, I think it was, with about 4 minutes or so left in the game. UConn fought back, forced overtime, and then Memphis was able to make the plays necessary in overtime to win that game. And, you know, really, I mean, you have to start with Tyrese Hunter for them. He was incredible. Played 40 minutes in that game, 26 points, 8 for 13 from the field, 7 for 10 from 3. Absolutely insane. 22 points from PJ Haggerty, adding 5 assists and 3 rebounds as well. Colby Rogers, 19 points for him. And then off the bench, Dain Dainja. If you're a Michigan State Big Ten fan, you might remember him. Former Illinois center, 22 minutes off the bench for him, 14 points, 5 rebounds. They just seem like a very big, long, athletic team that I think will provide some problems for Michigan State, especially at the guards and the wings position. The thing for Michigan State is, well, I'm not saying that Michigan State is for sure going to win this game, or, you know, that I like the matchups, like whatever. I'm not saying that, but I do think Michigan State does have players and depth at the guards and wing positions to hopefully be able to try to slow down this incredible attack that we've seen from Memphis on Monday. That being said, they just played an incredible game against the number 2 team in the country, UConn, the defending back-to-back national champions. So Michigan State had a 16-point win, so hopefully maybe you got a little more pep in your step and energy than Memphis does in this game. So we'll see. But, I mean, defensively, too, I mean, they were, you know, forcing UConn into some difficult stuff, was not letting them get off many clean looks. I mean, besides in the paint, Terrace Reed, former Michigan transfer, now with UConn, he had 22 and 11, 10 for 13 from the field. He was getting what he wanted in the paint. Alex Caravan for them, 6 for 13. But overall, not many clean looks. UConn was still able to shoot 49%, 47% from 3. But I thought Memphis's defense played well in that game. You look at some Bart Torvik numbers for them. Adjusted efficiency on offense, 23rd in the country. Adjusted efficiency defense, 59th in the country. So that kind of holds up from what we saw in this game. An incredible performance on Monday. And overall, a solid team. You look at Memphis so far this year. They're now 5-0. Beat Missouri, beat UNLV, Ohio, San Francisco, and then obviously, as we have mentioned, just beat UConn 99-97 on Monday. You look at some of the stats for the year for them. This isn't updated. We're recording pretty soon after Michigan State's win here on Monday night. So this isn't updated with their game from Monday night against UConn, but on the year, PJ Haggerty has been their leading scorer, about 23 points a game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals, shooting 50% from 3 on the year. Tyrese Hunter, who, as we mentioned, had an incredible game on Monday, averaging about 13 a game with 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals, shooting 44% from 3. Colby Rogers adds 11. Dain Dainja adds 10 and 7 for them. So I think that's something to watch for Michigan State, is what they're able to do in the paint with Dain Dainja and Musa Sissi as well starting for them. I think they're a dynamic duo in the front court for Memphis, and that's something that Michigan State will have to deal with. Now, as a team on the year, again, we're playing another team that is coming in shooting pretty well from three, 46% about from three. So that's something Michigan State will have to try to limit on Tuesday if they want to win this game. On Monday in Maui, they shot 55-ish% and shot 55% from the field as well. So definitely going to have to defend the three well going into this game on Tuesday. And according to Bart Torvik, 3-point percentage for Memphis, they are currently sitting at second in the country for 3-point shooting percentage on the year. So definitely something that Michigan State, as we said, will have to account for on Tuesday night in order to advance to the championship game on Wednesday. Now, briefly for Michigan State, I mean, yes, the biggest thing would like to see is them to start hitting a couple shots. I mentioned in the recap for Monday's win against Colorado, if your shot doesn't get going in Maui, then your shot might not get going at all. And Michigan State's shot did not get going on Monday against Colorado, so that's something we'll be looking for here on Tuesday, see if they can get that going. I said I'm giving it this Maui tournament to see if the shots get going. Otherwise, this could be a longer-term problem for Michigan State. And then also for Michigan State, would like to see them continue to dominate on the glass like we kind of saw on Monday. As I said, they won the rebounding battle by about 10. It felt like they won it by 20 or 30. That's how emphatic some of the rebounds were. And Memphis, only 30 rebounds on Monday against UConn. But they do have some big pieces in the paint that Michigan State will have to deal with. As we already mentioned, Musa Sissi and then Dane Deja coming off the bench. Two guys that you will definitely have to try to contain on the glass. And, you know, like I said, I thought Michigan State did an incredible job on Monday against a Colorado team that's not as long and big, I believe, as Memphis. So definitely will be a tougher challenge for Michigan State on Tuesday here against the Tigers. But would like to see them, as I said, try to get their three-point shot going. It's got to get going at some point, right? Otherwise, it just won't. Would like to see them continue to dominate on the glass. And then would also like to see them continue to push the fast break like we've seen so far this year. But then also mainly, the thing I'm probably most excited about this team for in terms of, yes, the rebounding as well, but really it's the defense. I mean, as we said early in this year so far, their offense has been okay at times. They scored 96 one game against Niagara. They've been in the 80s, you know, what's that, 3 other times. But, I mean, early on in this season, they've been able to rely on defense. And, yes, they haven't played a murderer's row of teams like we've seen Michigan State play in the past. Thought their defense was all right against Kansas, but still gave up 77 points. Not bad, but besides that, the most points they've given up is 75 against Samford, a very up-and-down Samford team. Only give up 56 on Monday to Colorado, so would like to see them continue to lean on this defense until the shooting and the offense comes around even more. But I did think, even though their shooting isn't there, I thought Michigan State did some pretty good stuff on offense. I thought they were running their stuff well, getting some good looks, just not hitting down the open shots, but they are getting in the paint at will. As we said, against Colorado on Monday, they outscored Colorado in the paint 50-28. They almost outscored Colorado as a team just in the paint. 50 points in the paint for Michigan State, 56 points as a whole for Colorado. So that is something that would like to see continue. But jumping back over to Bart Torvik, they currently have Memphis right now. We'll stay with them, 33rd in the country. They also have this game as a 76-75 win for Michigan State. Hopefully that's how it plans out, but know it's going to be a really tough game after watching them on Monday against UConn. But hopefully it'll be a happy recap show after this game. We'll be back to recap this one and preview Michigan State's game, whether they win and are in the championship or whether they do lose in this game and will be in the consolation bracket. We'll be here to recap it and preview it all. But anyway, that'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.